Brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Chris McGee alongside Robert Ory. Big game, James Worthy. We got Mike Trudell and Allie Clifton down at Crypto.com Arena. How we doing, gentlemen? Everybody good?
Yeah, we covered. You know,
yeah,
it's a little
long weekend.
Long weekend. You know how I feel about Celtic games.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but I'm ready to move forward.
You're moving on.
Forward.
I agree with that.
Have no choice.
Rob, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Just happy to be here with you two guys.
Yeah, man, it's always
back in the saddle again.
It's always nice. Look, to get right to it. Lakers homestand ends tonight. Remember when we started this, we said the Lakers have 8 at home, and here is how it looks. A win over the Sixers, win over the Warriors, lost 2 in a row to the Thunder and Spurs, then won their next 2, Mavericks and Clippers, losing to the Celtics. So the Lakers at 4-3 in their last 7, all in downtown Los Angeles. I do want to start with that game on Sunday. Lakers offense only 89 points, second lowest of the year, 18 assists. How important is it, James and Rob, for a bounce-back game tonight at home to end this homestand right?
It's always critical to bounce back after a disappointing home loss, against one of your arch rivals in the league. And, categories that you shouldn't be losing by at home. I mean, they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, only 18 assists. Just didn't match the physicality that Boston was putting out there. Start looking for calls and things of that nature. That's when you kind of know you're off balance. But hey, got to bounce back and get that sour taste out of your mouth. When you think about what they were trying to do prior to All-Star break, I think they didn't meet their goal there, and then they come back afterwards, and they still got to make some changes defensively in some other areas.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you look at a game, you look at how bad your team played. Even though they play bad, you also have to, hate to say this, give credit to the Celtics on
how they've been playing this year.
How great they've been playing defensively. You think about Jaylen Brown, who's potentially going to be an MVP of the league. You think about White, how he's playing. You think about, even if you look at coming off the bench and the guys, Pritchard pretty much killing us off the bench by himself.
What a game for him.
And you think about every shot he made at the end of a half or end of a quarter. It was just amazing. So sometimes you have to tip your hat to a certain team. And I think they came in, me and the Celtics, on a mission. And this is a team that nobody even had them even competing like they're competing.
It was a punting year.
Yeah, because of JT being out. But these guys, you got to give it to them. They play tough-nosed defense. And what I like best about this team on defense is they don't switch. To me, switch is a bunch of crock. It's a bunch of crock because that means you're scared of a person, you don't want to guard them. They take on the person and say, I'm guard this dude, and I'm going to make it a difficult night for him. And I wish more teams, especially us, would do that, because if you're assigned to someone, I want you to take pride in them and lock them up and don't switch.
I agree with you, Rob. But they're good coming in. I think they won like 7 out of 8 games or something like that. So they're good, and you got to match whatever they're bringing. You at home. I don't care how good they've been playing. Yeah. When you come in my building, I at least want to match your effort. I want to get more than 18 assists. I want to not give up a lot of offensive rebounds. I give Boston all the credit, but man, I want to see some force with force, man. Yeah. You're in my backyard.
That is so true. You got to meet force with force, and you got to sometimes punch first.
It's going to be a physical game coming in.
Yeah. How they play.
All right. For more, let's check in with Mike Trudell. He's joining us from Crypto.com Arena. Michael, how we doing, buddy?
Hey guys, good to see you as always, and welcome downtown. So we know that the Lakers are mostly healthy going into this one. Just Jackson Hayes that won't play for another game because of that ankle. So that's where we started with J.J. Redick, wondering where the Lakers were going to be able to try and replace some of the things that Jackson Hayes does, which of course is tricky, and J.J. will get into why. And then also, what does he expect to see from this Magic team, down a couple of their key players, but yet playing some good basketball out of the Eastern Conference? So here's J.J. a couple moments ago.
Unfortunately, no one on our team can jump as high as him outside of maybe LeBron. So, we'll make do with Maxey and Vando, and The good news is he's day to day, and he's already made improvements. He did a light on court workout today. Still dealing with a little bit of pain, but we hope he's going to be back this week.
Orlando's been without a couple of their key guys in Suggs and Wagner, but still really good. I think 5 of 7 wins, 2 or 3 on this trip. But what have you seen from them even with the current injuries, and what's the challenge they present?
Well, Bain's playing at a very high level right now, shooting really well, ultra aggressive, and I think really that's all of their guys right now in terms of the aggression level to drive and touch the paint, and that starts in transition with them. They're really looking to run and score at the rim, and we've got to do a good job of getting back and setting our defense, and then being able to contain the basketball, whether that's in zone or man. It doesn't, there's no difference. We got to protect the paint tonight.
We spoke to Luke Kennard yesterday, and he's kind of shared with us that he feels pretty comfortable rather quickly. What have you seen from him that's allowed him to get there?
Yeah, actually, I was just meeting with Luke. Oddly enough, that you asked that question. He's a really high basketball IQ, and he also is what I would describe as like a complementary player in the nicest way possible, meaning that his game is easy. He's not going to over dribble. He moves. He makes quick decisions. He can really shoot it. And so, he even said to me, he's like, I feel like wherever I've been able to integrate really quickly. So I think maybe part of it is the fact that he's had a bunch of stops, and this is not a new thing to him for joining a team that he hasn't been a part of, and he's been great. He's played really well so far.
All right, so there's J.J. Redick and a couple of important themes that he touched on. But certainly, I think the Lakers just have to have the relevance and the knowledge of what just happened in the last game, how they lost to Boston. No matter who the opponent is, we'll see if they come out with a certain fire, trying to get that feeling out of their bones after the tough loss. All right, back to you, Peter.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that key word, fire, right there. That's a great point. Lakers have lost 3 straight to the Magic. Magic are currently fighting for their playoff lives to get above the line. They're in the 7th spot, a half game out of the 6th spot. Philly is there in front of them. It's another tough matchup. No Wagner tonight, but you do have Desmond Bane. You do have Paolo Banchero. James, what do you want to see coming off that game that just left a bad taste in the mouth? What do you want to see different tonight?
Come on, man. Energy.
Yeah.
Plenty of it for 4 quarters. Get a lead. When you get a lead in NBA or any sport, in my opinion, that's when you turn on the afterburners. You really play like you're down 10, and they've been guilty of giving us some leads. Look, teams are good enough to come back in this league. With the 3, it happens. But I want energy, effort, and I think when you have those 2 things, pretty much the game will take care of itself after that.
I'm going to add smarts to that because you just mentioned the cross-court passes that they try to do. You got to have the energy, the effort, and you got to play smart. There's so many times where we go out, we make a play, and okay, we think we can do it again. And the other team is smart enough to say, oh, we're not going to allow you to do that again, but you still try. So you got to be smart, because playing smart will cut down on the turnovers. Smart will get you easy baskets. Smart will make the game so easy that you don't have to look back and say, okay, we got to fight for this, or have that clutch moment where we like the best team in clutch moments. I don't even want that acknowledgement. I'm like, I want to be beat team so bad that, we sit on the bench chilling. Sort of like what old boy does in OKC. He don't even play in the 4th quarter sometimes. Yeah, sure. And that's what you have to have. You have to have the killer instinct. And when I watch the Lakers play sometimes, they think when they're up 12, it's open. They start smiling, joking, laughing, and having antics. I need you to be locked in.
You want that push to 20.
I want you to be locked in and just go ahead and knock them out the box.
Yeah. All right, guys, look out, Luka. Marcus Smart, he's coming for you. He's been working on that trick shot skills before Lakers take on Orlando Magic tonight at Crypto. Plus, we're in a